What's up guys, John here. This video has received almost 400,000 views in 4 hours about what is unfolding right now with farmers. And this is unfolding specifically in Oregon. But when you look nationwide, you can see things very clearly. Did you know 4 companies now control 70% of America's beef production? So the small mom and pop farmers are getting pushed out of the industry entirely. And these farms are being sold off to these very companies, these very large corporations that are gathering more and more of a monopoly on our food supply. As this is unfolding, China has acquired 380,000 plus acres of our farmland.
Chinese companies own about 1/5 of 1% of American agricultural land per USDA data.
Along with China's land grabs, Microsoft founder Bill Gates is the largest private owner of American farmland.
Large foreign entities continue to move in, and small mom and pop farmers are getting pushed out by strict regulations. I'm going to show you this video. I'm going to show you what's going on behind the scenes to help you and position you for what I think is going to be more of an expensive world, a different type of world, a world which we all need to get ready for. Please hit the like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube will share this content to educate other people about what's going on in the U.S. economy. And if you'd like to fix your credit, we would love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative item in your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free strategy session for tomorrow. Take a look at this.
Right now, the state of Oregon is shutting down small family farms en masse under the guise of water conservation. Oregon lawmakers are rewording their laws to effectively treat small local farms the same as like a large farming operation on a commercial scale. And let me tell you the scariest part, because I've talked about this on my page before. The way they are finding these farms is they are using satellite imagery to pinpoint your farm and send you a cease and desist letter and insisting that you stop all production. Their government has also set up a hotline so that your neighbors can call and rat on you for watering the vegetables and fruit that you're going to go sell at the farmer's market next weekend. Now,
Absolutely shocking. So this situation, how 4 big companies controlled the U.S. beef industry. 4 companies slaughtered about 85% of U.S. grain, fat, and cattle that are made into steaks, beef, roast, and other cuts of meat for consumers. This is in 2018, according to the most recent data from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. When factoring in other cows used to make hamburger meat, the companies comprise about 70% of total U.S. beef production, according to North American Meat Institute. So 70%, this is data from 2018. Imagine how much more market share they've acquired over the last several years. It's a lot, right? It's a really big problem. In this scenario, as Oregon proposes new groundwater rules, some agriculture groups push back. And what they are saying is Oregon is one of many western states with rapid groundwater depletion. In some parts of the state, overpumped groundwater aquifers are resulting in dry wells affecting residential and commercial sectors and irrigated farming operations. They now want to do this. As officials began holding a series of meetings across Oregon, some environmentalists and water conservationists are praising the proposed changes while other groups are pushing back. And they want to determine when the water is available to support new wells. So they'll tell you if you're allowed to water your land and if you're not allowed to water it. And think about that. What is a farm worth if they can't water their land? It's worth almost nothing, right? It's a big problem. Oregon specifically is a major producer of cattle, grapes, corn, hay, milk, beans, cranberries, melons, blueberries, pears, right? So you start to see this situation advancing. We're going to walk into a whole new type of food industry, one in which we've never before seen. We're walking to the 4th Industrial Revolution, and it's not going to be a smooth, transition. Right now, farmers, they're estimated to lose about $40 billion compared to what they, made in 2023. So they're estimating $40 billion lower than 2023, right? So how are they going to be able to stay in business losing that much money? Right? How are they going to be able to stay in business as everything else is going up? You have labor costs going up, fertilizer going up, tractors are going up, everything is increasing. Regulation is getting a lot more extreme. For example, the governor of South Dakota said that while China remains among the biggest, and this just came out a couple days ago, one of the biggest buyers of U.S. agricultural exports, China is increasingly an existential threat to American farmers. Witnesses told the House Agriculture Committee on Wednesday. The House Agricultural Committee delved into some of the risk of China attempting to expand its agricultural footprint in the U.S. while looking to steal intellectual property. Lawmakers highlighted the need to further restrict the agricultural land purchases as well as agribusiness. Well, we hear a lot of different drama of our conflicts with China and with other countries. If we have all of these conflicts, why would we allow them the authority over our food supply, right? You control the food, control the people. Why would we allow them to go out there and essentially, acquire 384,000 acres of U.S. farmland, buying one of the largest food producers in America, Smithfield Foods? They purchased this, years ago. In 2022, it did $14 billion in production, right? What started as a father-son packing company has grown into a multinational meat processing corporation. Besides their dozens of locations inside the U.S. that are present in Mexico, Poland, Romania, Germany, United Kingdom, Smithfield Food focuses on pork products, including fresh pork, ham, fresh cured sausage, bacon, deli meats. As they've become some seafood, game, and poultry products, they're expanding rapidly, 50,000 employees, right? 50,000 employees. But what many people don't realize is when you look at this scenario that is happening at the same exact time, this pipeline is coming in Iowa, Nebraska, South Dakota, Minnesota, and North Dakota. And this pipeline just happens to be in the most important farmland, pocket in America, right? Right here. This is where this is going to be going, and this is going to be roughly 2,500 miles, and they're using eminent domain, basically taking the land, trying to make deals with the property owners to do this. And you just ask yourself the big question: supply and demand. If a lot of that farmland is being utilized for chickens, for pigs, for cows, and then you have a lot of other farmland, in California, for example, all the floods, all the problems that are unfolding in China, in California, and you start to look at all of these situations unfolding, what are you going to see? You're going to see a scenario where prices are going to be going up in a very, very, very big way. Not modestly, 5%, 10%, 15%, 20%. We're going to start to see some really, really big increases in pricing. And so this is what they say the future of farming is going to look like. They paint a really, really good picture, picture that some people will probably get behind. But the more that you look into this, the more you'll realize this might not be as it seems. So fast forward and imagine we're living 5.5 years from now. Somewhere in the world, a pig farmer wakes up and opens up a personal assistant on their smartphone, still in bed. They already know the weather, anything extraordinary happened in their automated barn overnight, way before breakfast. This farmer checks information collected in real time, processed and analyzed. They can assess the current panorama of current conditions, define their priorities for the day, and optimize time management. Picture this: full understanding of every animal movement, feed, water consumption, unusual activity levels, or any increased coughing, an increased respiratory distress, and eventually triggered an automated rope sample taking for advanced diagnostics. How about having results from those samples already available? The future vision is possible for all, right? Well, think about that. Who's going to be getting that data? Who is going to be getting that information? Because if somebody get that, it's really, they have that information, they're saying, what, this cough looks like it could be dangerous. We need to, we need to get rid of this. We need to, confiscate this, or we need to, do something. They're going to be able to tell you that, right? If you're the farmer, they're going to be able to tell you that. The data is going to be shared, without doubt. They say that this industry is going to, be worth $4.6 billion this year alone. So really, really, really big changes are going to be coming. And they say that, it's going to cost about $205 billion a year. So the big question is, if they need $205 billion per year for this, presently are down about $40 billion this year, how is that going to get funded? It's going to get funded through additional regulation, additional taxes, and additional farmers likely being forced to sell. That's unfortunately what's likely going to happen here. $205 billion per year needed from the agri-food sector to mitigate half of this situation. We all know that this is going to be, the big story going forward, the big conversation going forward, the big movement going forward is all going to be about this. So if you're in an industry inside of, food production, you have to pay very close attention to all of this conversation, because it's going to change whether you agree with it, whether you disagree with it. It's going to change everything about food production. So investment from the agri-food is $205 billion a year. over the next 5.5 years could achieve up to, and they set their targets, they set their goals, and it's pretty shocking. They say food systems transformation is a central solution to this. Agri-food companies have a critical role to play. To meet these targets, businesses must take concentrated and ambitious action to de-risk the transition for producers and ensure the costs and benefits to mitigate can be shared equitably across the value chain. So pay attention to this, because it's not just unfolding here in America. You're hearing about these stories unfolding all over the world. Very, very, very similar conversations everywhere. Amsterdam. I mean, it's getting intense. So EU governments prepare for the possibility of this 3 weeks ago. Protesters in Cuba decry power outages, 1 week ago. Sudan, right, 3 weeks ago. Nigeria battles the same situation, rising food insecurity 3 weeks ago. 1 week ago, Cuba's blaming America, right, for stoking protest. This is unfolding worldwide. This scenario is something that we have to realize is going to happen, without doubt. Whether we like it or we don't like it, we have to realize it's going to happen. And when you have a scenario like what we're going to be walking into, where they're putting so much money in the system, most of this money is flowing to large corporations, and this money, they're going to go out there and buy farmland, go buy infrastructure. That's what they're going to do. And when they continue to do that, they're going to have more power, and that power is going to get converted into more dollars, and they're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So if you are someone right now that's struggling, really pay attention the next couple of years. Get into the right industry. Either if you're an entrepreneur or business owner, make sure you're in the right business. If you're working with a company, make sure it's a strong company that's going to do well and you have a lot of growth potential, because my bet is food prices are going to be going up in a very big way, and a lot of things are going to be going up in a very, very, very big way. Position yourself accordingly. If you have any credit issues at all, any late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, any issue at all on your credit report, take care of it in advance. Put yourself in a position to get funding. If you want to go out there and get a business loan, you want to invest, you want to put yourself in a really good position, make sure your credit score is in line with your goals. If you have any issues at all on your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free strategy session for tomorrow. I'll catch you next video.